Welcome back. You're watching the first edition of Business Morning for the week. On the program today, we're looking at the economic implications of the readjustment in the election date. I've been having a conversation with the Deputy President, Nigerian British Chamber of Commerce, and of course, he's a council member of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Prince Dapo Adelegon. He's still here with me in the studio. But just before we continue our conversation, Dr. Elijah Izendu is back on Skype. He joins me from the United Arab Emirates. He's a business expert and the Chief Executive Officer of Rubini. Dr. Izendu, so good to have you on the program this morning. Well, if you've been following this conversation, let's just get your reactions. Let's just get your thoughts on how the adjustment in the dates will affect business decisions. We know that a lot of international investors were anxiously waiting for the outcome of the elections before they take their decision. How much of an impact is this going to affect, or is this going to have, rather, on businesses?
I think primarily that the shift will just, of course, send echoes of political instability, one, and two, generate unnecessary uncertainty. Three, give room for rumor mongering. So, but by and large, at the end of the day, the businesses that do not require to see changes in the fiscal policy or to see whatever happens to the fiscal policy, we continue. There are two types of businesses. Businesses that no matter the minor changes in the fiscal policies will go on, and businesses that require to see where the tide is going. So the ones that do not really depend so much on the minor changes in the policy, we continue business as usual. So I don't believe that this shift will have an overwhelming effect on the economy. I rather think that it will have effect on investors who want to put their money in sectors that are highly regulated. So that those sectors may be very volatile in terms of political changes. So as far as those investors are concerned, they will want to see who comes in and on what basis is he coming in and what does he want to do. So, but the other sectors of the economy will continue business as usual. Then again, there's something about Nigeria's economy. Nigeria's economy is not like the British economy nor the Italian economy. Nigeria's economy is driven more than 50% by organic growth. And so if you start comparing the Nigeria's economy's terms to that of Britain, I think you're making a very terrible mistake, because Nigeria's economy is driven by locals. And I dare to say that money stashed are inside Nigeria. And so as we talk about foreign direct investment, we also talk about stashed turnarounds, money stashed by government officers, by people who have made money through different ways, will still come out. That's the reality of it, and that's what shocks
Dr. Izendu, we're looking at the fact that domestic, investment is supposed to pick up at this time because a lot of foreign players are staying outside of the market. But for how long do you think they're going to take this stance? Yes, the election dates have been readjusted, but they need to take decisions with regards to making investments. Like my guest in the studio has said, a lot of businesses have not really started making any decisions. It's almost as if a lot of businesses have not even started for the year. But for how long will they take this position?
I wouldn't think so. I wouldn't think so. It's too theoretical to say a lot of businesses are not making decisions. I will tell you that, of course, I've been involved in an investment decision already this year. And so decisions have been made, but not in the volatile sector. There are different sectors of the economy. There are sectors that are highly regulated, like the oil and gas, the banking sector. But there are some other sectors that are not so highly regulated. So investment decisions have been made. People are putting in their money. Regardless of the uncertainty will not impinge on the activities in such sectors.
But remember that this is coming at a time when the economy is facing domestic and international challenges.
Yes, of course, domestic and international challenges. Yes, we know. When it comes to the effect, we will feel the effect very much if this thing becomes protracted. If the shift occurs again, then of course, the international community will raise eyebrows And of course, a number of people may begin to decide to divest their investments, harvest their funds, and put it elsewhere in other countries or some other places, or just dump it down somewhere down the silos. But
then what
for
would now
now,
be the implications if that kind of thing happens? You know, because at the moment we seem to be wanting to encourage more foreign direct investment into the country. So what is going to be the implication of that?
For now, foreign direct investments, a reasonable portion of it will be stagnant, because for now they will hold on. They will want to see what is going on. I was in a meeting the other day, and people were insinuating things. What do you think about this and that? So for now, a reasonable portion of them will hold on. But I dare to say that there are still foreign direct investment that will still come in, because there are people who believe in high risk. There are people who believe in investing when there is uncertainty. That's the nature of business. That's a practical business, you see.
Well, Dr. Ezendu, hold on to your thoughts there. Let's come back to our studio here and still talk about, you know, some of the points he actually pointed out. Even though the challenges are much domestically and, of course, internationally as well, oil prices, the Naira being under pressure and the rest of it, he's still confident that we'll have a number of investors still wanting to come into the country despite this high risk. Do you also share the sentiment?
Well, there are high-risk investors all over the world. They hire the risk, they hire the return. As a matter of fact, for some people, the absence of many investors at this time putting money in the system is an opportunity for some to come into the system and buy cheap.
Yeah, he actually made reference to the oil and gas sector and the banking sector as well.
Indeed, but at the micro level of the economy, the SME level, for example, the credibility of the election will have positive or negative impact on the future of business. Because for a lot of small and medium-scale enterprise, they depend on the large corporates for their sustenance. And where the large corporates are beginning to slow down in terms of investment decisions, new projects going forward in 2015, and take a wait and see position about the outcome of the election and the process, then it means that the bulk of businesses in this country will be in a state of coma until June, the third quarter of 2015. So we may have, yes, a lot of investment are already on anyway in the oil and gas industry. I mean, there's consistency in investment, they're long-term, they're not flying today. The stock exchange experience and has experienced over 850 billion naira worth of departure in terms of foreign investors' money. We may have continued decrease in that flow, and even some may take advantage of that decrease to also come in, to take advantage of the low pricing in that stock exchange. But overall, we need credibility, we need confirmation that this is going to happen, and then maybe we can begin to see an upsurge in business activity.
What sectors can help to kickstart this upsurge?
You know, like I said, even with this situation, some sectors are going to benefit. The communication industry, television stations, advertising company, billboard company, printers of posters, printers, for example.
Yeah, but you mentioned SMEs.
Yeah, they're all SMEs as well. They're all part of SMEs. It's a section, most of them are SMEs. And they will thrive. The impact of this postponement is also going to impact on the campaign budgets. There will be need for additional funds to sustain the campaigns. Some of the parties have spent billions already. You will require at least additional 10 to 15 billion will be injected across the board into this campaign. And a lot of SME players in the economy will benefit from this. So in a way, it's not a loss-loss situation all the way. Some parts of the economy, like I said, the 5 billion Valentine Day industry will benefit, because without the election, everybody's going to go out, restaurants, hotels, you know, a lot of, so there is some positive aspect to it, but overall, it's important that INEC does everything to confirm both to local and international publics that they are ready, and this election will take place at this date.
Let me get Dr. Ezendu's final thoughts on this. Dr. Ezendu, so muted growth for the first half of the year, but of course we're still going to be expecting to see a lot of foreign players make incursion into the Nigerian market.
Yeah, I still stand by my word that there are certain sectors that do not necessarily need to see the changes in fiscal policies and all that. So those sectors will still be attracting the investments they already attract. But the uncertainty may send some investors jittery. And as far as I'm concerned, that may necessitate capital flight. That's all. But the capital flight, on one hand, will become opportunity for some aggressive investors at the end of the day. That's the way it is. Nigeria's economy is an economy driven by early investors. So some of the sub-sectors that are just opening up need early investors, sub-sectors in the mining and so on. Let me not mention some things because I know people are listening. so those sectors depend so much on early investors. And the earliest people that come into the sectors will control the sector. So I think some investors, even though they are jittery, will still continue what they're doing. That's the way I see it. At the end of the day, Nigeria will be better off.
Well,
thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ezendu, for joining me on the program and sharing your thoughts. Dr. Elijah Ezendu is a business expert and the Chief Executive Officer of Rubini. He joined us live via Skype from the United Arab Emirates. And thank you also, Prince Dakwa Dilegon, for joining me on the program. He is the Deputy President, Nigerian British Chamber of Commerce, and also a council member of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Of course, what we discussed on the program today was the economic implications of the readjustment in the election dates and valid points. Yes, there's definitely uncertainty and anxiety, but investors, high-risk investors, will take the opportunity to come into the market at this time because it will be a gain-gain situation for them. And also, Dr. Ezendu pointed that out, that capital flight might happen at this time, but for some, it is an opportunity. But that's the program for today. Don't forget, you can still make your contributions and continue this conversation online at Business Morning, or of course send your comments to businessmorning@channelstv.com. I'm Harriet Agbenyi. Bye-bye.